Hey guys, it's Raul. I've been working on something and I was hoping that I can share with you. And it starts like this. Have you guys ever had one of those drives where you're just wiped? You know, the music is slow. Maybe a podcast is playing in the background. But that was me the other night. I was driving half zone down, listening to a modern wisdom clip, when this line comes on. The magic you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. And my first reaction was honestly pretty predictable. Yeah, alright man, cool quote. Let me just get home, kick off my boots, shut my brain down, relax on the couch, watch some TV. But then the podcast ends and it gets quiet. And that line just sits there. And damn if it didn't hit harder than I expected. Because the real question it kicked up for me wasn't about motivation or discipline. It was this. Why am I doing so much and still feel like I haven't done anything that actually matters? I've been kicking around the idea of starting a podcast for a while. Yeah, another podcast. You know how that goes. Plenty of reasons, plenty of excuses. But right there in the truck, it kind of clicked. The magic I keep chasing, it's in the exact work that I've been dodging. So here we are. This is that work. The podcast is called Be All In. Not because it's some fancy or catchy slogan that I want to slap on a logo, but because it's the question that I am tired of ignoring. Am I actually giving everything I've got? Or am I still living halfway? What if I just stop doing things half-hearted? Stop half showing up, half trying, half being present, always telling myself, someday I'll go all in. Well, this is me deciding to stop dodging it. Out loud, with you. Now, you might be wondering, who the hell am I to even ask this question? That's fair. I've spent the last 20 plus years in EMS. Ground ambulances, flight, critical care. I've run 911s on the freeway, stepped over needles in the street, lifted up on helicopters while the scene's still flashing red and blue underneath us. I've seen people at their absolute worst, but I've also seen them at their absolute bravest. Some nights, it's a kid in cardiac arrest at 3 o'clock in the morning. Other nights, it's doing everything you can on the other side of the road just to buy someone else another chance. But honestly, the calls that stayed with me weren't the most dramatic ones. Sometimes it was sitting on a cold sidewalk at 2 o'clock in the morning with someone who had nowhere to go, that didn't need meds, that didn't need an IV or a helicopter. They just needed someone to see them. And somewhere along the way, I got really good at showing up for everybody else, but pretty bad at showing up for myself. That left me with some uncomfortable questions. How do I give everything to strangers and still feel pretty empty on my own life? What if I'm not fully committing to the man that I'm supposed to become? The one that I feel called towards? And then it hit me. I'm not afraid of hard work. I do hard work every shift. I show up. I run the call. But when it comes to my own life, I negotiate. I negotiate with my comfort, with my fear, with the part of me that wants to stay safe instead of stepping forward. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. How often do you negotiate with yourself and lose? You hit snooze. You skip the gym. You say, I'll start tomorrow. Those aren't small things. Those are broken promises to yourself. And tomorrow? it actually never shows up. Cody Sanchez said something that stuck with me. She said, most people don't fail because they got tired and quit. They fail because they never really tried. So maybe the real gut check is this. Have I actually tried? Not talked about it, not planned it, or thought about it, but really tried. What would you change if you stopped cutting deals with your own weakness, not because you're perfect, but because you respect the person that you are trying to become? Well, here's what I'm learning in real time. Momentum doesn't come from motivation. It comes from motion. One decision, one kept promise, one thing you do even when you don't feel like it. I don't feel like recording right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. Do that enough times and you start trusting yourself again. Look, I'm not here because I got life figured out. I'm here because I got tired of avoiding the hard questions. Be all in is my way of holding myself accountable, out loud, even when it's messy. So here my ask for you. What is one area of your life where you already know what needs to change, but you just haven't decided yet? For me, I'm finally accepting this truth. Half effort gives you a half life, and I'm done with that. Even my kids call me out. They said, Dad, if you name it Be All In, and you only drop one episode a month, that's going to be false advertising. And yeah, they're not wrong. But not just about the podcast, about everything. Because when you tell yourself you're going to do something and then don't, you're lying to the one person that matters the most. So I'm committing 1 episode a week. Some weeks it'll just be me, thinking out loud, trying to ask better questions. Other weeks I'll bring someone who's been through hell or who's learned something worth sharing. But this isn't my show. It's ours. So whether you're listening right now on shift, in the rig, at the gym, folding laundry, take a breath. You're still here. You're still building. And you still get to choose. So let's stop half living and let's go all in together. Welcome. This is Raul. See you on the next one.